Hey everybody, Fire Mama here. So this is a pre-video to the video because the main part of the video, I guess I want to say, is about making an antibiotic. And when I say antibiotic, it's not like your prescription antibiotics. I mean, it's better for you, but this one has nasturtiums, oregano, and thyme in it. And the nasturtiums is your antibiotic, but your thyme and your oregano are antibiotic properties too, but they're more of an expectorant. But I wanted to tell you, which I just did, I believe, more about the herbs, so you'll know about them more than if I just kind of run through the main part of the video, which from here on out, on the different things that I make, like the antibiotics, or when we do salves and stuff, the herbs that I make this stuff with will come either before or probably before, I think makes more sense. But so I can tell you about the herbs and maybe different herbs that you can use for the same thing. But this way you learn about the herbs and then we make the stuff. So I think that just kind of helps people a little bit more. So anyway, getting to this one. So this is an antibiotic. I have, like I said, nasturtiums, thyme, and oregano. This one, instead of vodka like I usually do tinctures, I used a vegetable glycerin, but I also used my homemade blueberry, blackberry vinegar that I made. And yes, vinegar. Now, with the vegetable glycerin, it is sweet, so it sweetens that vinegar up, because you trying to take vinegar medicine is kind of So, but anyway, so let's start with nasturtiums. I really like nasturtiums. So nasturtiums has the antibiotic properties. The leaves have more than the flowers, but the flowers have them too. And the seeds, I love the seeds in the nasturtium flowers. They have kind of like a little pepper bite to them. So this is going to give a little bit more boost for this antibiotic cough suppressant, is what we'll call this. So it's going to help not only heal your body, but break up the congestion and get that all out. And when you eat nasturtiums, which I did a video before about them, you can just eat them raw, in a salad. I put them on sandwiches. I just pop them in my mouth, and you're getting the antibiotic properties that way as well. So to the oregano. So oregano is more of an anti-inflammatory. So when your lungs get all upset and inflamed and stuff, the oregano is going to help calm that down. So it's going to relax your lungs and the mucous membrane that builds up all that junk. It's going to help relax it so your body can get it expelled out, which moves on to thyme. And yes, I have this wrote down because remember my train of thought. It's an antispasmodic, which it's going to help control your cough. So while you're still going to cough, because that's your body's main thing, is to cough that all up and get all that junk out. But the thyme is also an expectorant. So it's going to work the same way the oregano does. Now, you can also put garlic in this too if you wanted, but I was aiming this more towards for the kids, so I didn't want to make it too hot for them, because you know, in vinegar, when you put garlic in vinegar, which is really good too, it gets a little hotter taste to it, so I didn't want that. So I just wanted these three. There's several. You can add echinacea to it, which is very good. Echinacea is great for when colds and flus and, you know, junk start going around, which I will talk about that one a little later in the video when I start harvesting my echinacea. I'll show you that one. But so then the vinegar, the blackberry blueberry vinegar that I made, is just kind of just to help draw that stuff out, and your vegetable glycerin. And the vegetable glycerin is very thick, so you really got to get that worked up. So I'm going to show you this. This is what it looks like after about a week. Not sure how well you can see that, but anyway, it's really starting to work and change colors. And I tasted it, and I actually did get the vegetable glycerin to vinegar ratio good, because it is just the perfect taste. So anyway, I'm going to shut up about that. And as always, when you're getting ready to work with herbs or want to start working with herbs, I suggest finding you a good herb book, 2 or 3, 4. I think I have about 10, and I reference them all the time. Anytime I'm going to do a video with working with some kind, I will, you know, reference 2 or 3 of them. Just, you know, because, I mean, I could go on for days about herbs, but I'm not going to right now. I'll do a whole other video about that. So please enjoy the video about making your own antibiotics. Hey everybody, Fire Mama here. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to make an antibiotic with nasturtiums, oregano, and thyme. And we'll be using some vinegar, glycerin, which is sweet, and some blackberry and blueberry vinegar that I made from my own blackberry and blueberries. You can make this also with vodka, which I did already. That was one of the videos that I did, and I had technical difficulties, so I didn't get to show you that. But I can just tell you real quick, I got my nasturtiums, oregano, and thyme in here, and I just filled it up to the top with vodka, and I let it sit on the counter for a couple days and just shake it up. And that's just to make sure everything stays covered. And then it needs to go in a cool, dark place for about 4 to 6 weeks. But sometimes we all know that my time gets away from me, so it could be 8 weeks. And then you just strain it out and you bottle it. And with the vodka, it'll keep longer. It'll keep for a year or better. But it's a very good antibiotic. But for people who don't want to take the alcohol part of it, I wanted to show them how to do it another way. And this mostly is also to use for your kids, because you don't want to give them the alcohol. But what I've got here is some nasturtiums. Bring that in closer. And my oregano and thyme. The thyme I'm just going to leave on the stem because the stem's small enough. Now the nasturtium leaf has the most antibiotic excuse me, properties in it, but I put a few flowers in there because they have some as well. My nasturtiums are fresh, so I don't have to have as many of those, but my oregano and thyme is dried, but I'm just going to use a pint jar to show you this. I would have more of the dry if I was doing a quart. So what I'm going to show you first, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the glycerin in here because it's really thick. Normally I would go put my if I was doing the vodka, I would just put the herbs in there first and then just pour the vodka over it, but because the glycerin is so thick, I want to put that in there first, and then some of my vinegar. And you see how that vinegar just sits on top of that glycerin? We want to get that good and mixed up, which is why I wanted to go ahead and do this part first, because it'll be hard to get it all mixed up with the herbs in there. Now, and I will say, using the glycerin and the vinegar, it'll take a little longer for this to extract everything. So I'm just gonna put this, so I will let this set longer, 8 weeks or better for sure. I'm gonna get all my nasturtiums in there. And then I'll try to do this without making a mess. Well, it looks like my oregano is gonna, or my thyme's not gonna squish in there very well. That's alright. We'll make it work. So, since I have the rest of this on a plate, I am just going to try to dump this in here without making a big mess. But this is my oregano that's going in. And I'll get some more of the thyme that came off the stems in there. And you just keep working that down. Now, as you can see, I'm definitely going to have to add more liquid to it, which is fine. We can work with that. You can also mix the glycerin and the vodka together, which I have not tried, but I may try that just to see what it's like. The glycerin is sweet, so it'll give it a, it'll help sweeten the vodka a little bit. So I didn't put very much vinegar in there, so I'm going to put a little more of that. I wonder if I got room to get the rest of these in here. We'll see. Yep. And this is why you always start with a clean counter and clean hands, so when you drop things on the counter, like I do a lot, you can just pick them up and put them back in. So that's all in there. Now, I need a little bit more, but I think I'm going to add just a little bit more of the glycerin to it. And hopefully it won't be too hard to mix up, but we'll see. It will eventually as this breaks down and starts working, when you shake it up, it'll be easier to mix. Alright, so I've got all my goodies in there, and I'm going to add just a touch more of the berry vinegar. And I don't want to get it too full because I want to make sure I got room to be able to, when I shake it, because you want to shake this every day. So that's why you need to put it somewhere where you'll remember to shake it. Okay, let me see if I can. That's what it looks like. I don't know how well you can see that. But anyway, put your lid on it. And as always, make sure you write on there. I like to put on there what I've got in it, all my ingredients, so you know. Every day, give it a good shake. Like I say, I leave mine up here on the counter for a couple days so I can make sure I don't have to add any more liquid to it. So then when it gets done, like I say, with this mixture, I'm going to let it go for 8 weeks or better. I'll put the date on it when I did it because I have no memory. And then when you need to use it, so if you're going to use it for a child, you want to do about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon 2 to 3 times a day. And then adult will take 2 to 3 teaspoons 2 to 3 times a day. So that is all for this video. I hope it was helpful and you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet and you like what I'm doing so far on the channel, just subscribe and hit the little bell. There's a bell at the top, I think, that sends you notifications. Anyway, I thank you for watching. Fire Mama out.